Hi, dear friend. You found a quiet place to rest and dream. Tonight, we'll drift through the hidden skeleton of the universe, where invisible threads connect everything that ever was and ever will be. Let yourself settle now. There's nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to remember or see. The world outside can wait. Here in this moment, all you need to do is breathe slow and steady. Let the weight of the day fall quietly behind. I want to tell you about something extraordinary, something that exists all around us, threading through every galaxy, every star, every world, a structure so vast that if you could see it from the outside, the entire universe would look like a single living organism, a web of light and shadow stretching across billions of light years, holding everything together in a pattern so beautiful it almost feels like poetry written in gravity. They call it the cosmic web. And tonight, as you rest, I'll take you there, not with urgency or haste, but gently, the way starlight arrives after traveling for eons. We'll move through this story the way the universe itself moves, slowly, patiently, with all the time in the world. You don't need to stay awake for any of it. If sleep comes, let it come. The universe will still be here, quietly unfolding, whether your eyes are open or closed. I'm floating now, somewhere far from Earth. My capsule drifts in the silence between worlds, and outside my window, the stars are everywhere. Thousands of them, millions, more than I could ever count. They scatter across the darkness like snow falling upward, each one a sun, each one holding its own collection of worlds and moons and mysteries. But what strikes me most isn't the stars themselves. It's the space between them. Because the space isn't empty, not really. It's alive with something we can't see, something that shapes the very structure of existence. And if you could peel back the layers of visible light, if you could tune your eyes to perceive the invisible, you would see that the universe isn't random at all. It's organized, connected, woven together like the neurons in a vast cosmic brain. This is the hidden architecture of everything, the scaffolding upon which galaxies hang like lanterns in the night. Take a breath now. Let it fill your lungs completely, then release it slowly. Feel how natural that rhythm is, how effortless. That's the rhythm we'll move with tonight, breath by breath, thought by thought, drifting deeper into calm. Imagine with me now. Imagine you could zoom out from where you are, pulling back through the roof, through the sky, beyond the clouds and the thin veil of atmosphere, up past the edge of space, where the air thins to nothing and the stars keep going. Past the moon, pale and cratered, past Mars with its rust-red deserts, past Jupiter, enormous and stormy, out beyond the orbit of distant Neptune, into the cold, dark realm where sunlight is just another star. And still you go, farther and farther, until our sun itself becomes a dot, then a spark, then lost among billions of other sparks scattered through the Milky Way. But you don't stop there. You keep pulling back, and now the entire Milky Way comes into view. A spiral of light, graceful and enormous, turning slowly through the void. 200 billion stars, all bound together by gravity's gentle hand. And then, as you drift back even farther, something astonishing happens. You begin to see that the Milky Way isn't alone. There are other galaxies nearby. Andromeda, our great spiral neighbor, twice as large as our own. The Triangulum Galaxy, smaller and delicate. Dozens of dwarf galaxies, each one a family of stars. And they're all moving toward each other, drawn by invisible forces, falling together through space like dancers in an ancient, endless ballet. This is our local group, our cosmic neighborhood. And as you watch, you notice something remarkable. These galaxies aren't distributed randomly. They seem to be following invisible pathways, moving along routes you can't quite see but can somehow sense, like ships following currents in an ocean of darkness. Pull back farther still. The local group becomes smaller, and now you see hundreds of galaxy groups, thousands, all flowing in the same direction. They're streaming toward something, a great concentration, a cosmic attractor pulling everything toward it like water circling a drain. But it's not destruction they're moving toward. It's structure, order, connection. And now at last you can see it, the cosmic web. From this vantage point, billions of light years from anything, the universe reveals its galaxies aren't scattered at random through the dark. They're organized into an intricate pattern of filaments and nodes, sheets and voids. Long tendrils of light stretch across hundreds of millions of light years, connecting clusters of galaxies like beads on an infinite string. Where the filaments intersect, great nodes form, brilliant and dense with the light of a million suns. And between these threads, vast voids, empty regions where almost nothing exists. Cosmic deserts of darkness stretching forever. It looks like a neural network, like the inside of a brain, or the pattern of neurons firing. The universe, it turns out, is woven together like a living mind, thinking thoughts too vast for us to comprehend. Let that image rest in your mind now. Don't force it, just let it be there, gentle and distant, like a memory of a dream. The universe as a web, everything connected, nothing truly alone. Your breathing is slower now, deeper. That's good. Let your body sink a little more into rest. There's no rush, no deadline. We have all the time in the cosmos. The question that haunts me as I float here, gazing out at this endless display of light, is simple. How? How did the universe organize itself? What invisible hand wove this web? The answer lies in something we cannot see, something that makes up most of the universe, yet remains completely invisible to our eyes, our telescopes, our instruments. It doesn't emit light. It doesn't absorb light. It doesn't interact with matter in any way we can directly observe. We call it dark matter. Not because it's dark in color, but because it's dark to us, hidden, a ghost that moves through the cosmos, shaping everything without ever being seen. Imagine for a moment that the universe is an ocean, the galaxies, the stars, the planets, all the things we can see. They're like foam on the surface, bright and visible, catching the light, dancing on the waves. Beneath the surface, that's where the real ocean lies, deep and vast and dark, holding 95% of everything that is. That's dark matter, the ocean beneath the foam. When the universe was born 13.8 billion years ago, In that first explosive moment we call the Big Bang, everything was smooth, uniform, a hot, dense soup of energy spreading outward in all directions. If it had stayed that way, perfectly smooth and evenly distributed, nothing would exist. No stars, no galaxies, no planets, no life. Just an endless fog of particles drifting apart forever. But it didn't stay smooth. Tiny imperfections existed, quantum fluctuations, smaller than atoms, ripples in the fabric of space-time itself. And these ripples, these microscopic variations in density, became the seeds of everything. Gravity found them. Like water finding cracks in stone, gravity seeped into these tiny imperfections and began to pull. Where there was slightly more matter, gravity pulled a little harder. More matter flowed in, which made gravity stronger still. A feedback loop, elegant and inevitable, growing over millions of years. But here's what makes it extraordinary: the visible matter, the atoms that would one day form stars and planets, and you couldn't collapse quickly enough on its own. It was too hot, too energetic, pushing back against gravity's pull. Dark matter, though, had no such hesitation. Dark matter felt gravity, but nothing else. No heat to slow it down, no light to push it back. It began collapsing immediately, forming vast halos of invisible mass, and these halos became the gravitational wells into which visible matter could fall. Think of it like this. Dark matter built the frame, and visible matter filled it in. Dark matter wove the web, and galaxies became the morning dew clinging to. Close your eyes now, if you haven't already. Picture darkness. Not frightening darkness, but peaceful, like the darkness of a quiet room at night, safe and soft. And in this darkness, imagine threads beginning to form. Slowly, patiently, lines of gravity pulling matter together across unimaginable distances. These threads grow denser over time. Along their length, knots begin to form where multiple filaments intersect. And in these knots, matter pools like rain gathering in the valleys of an invisible landscape. This is where galaxies are born. The Milky Way, our home, formed inside one of these knots. 100 billion years ago, there was just a cloud of gas collapsing slowly under its own weight, held in place by a massive halo of dark matter we still can't see. That invisible halo surrounds our galaxy even now, stretching 10 times farther than the visible stars, a protective cocoon of gravity. Every galaxy has one, a dark matter halo, like a ghost galaxy surrounding the one we see. And these halos, in turn, are connected to other halos by the vast filaments of the cosmic web. We are all connected, every star in every galaxy, bound together by invisible threads stretching across the universe. You are connected too. The atoms in your body were forged in stars that once hung from this same web. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your lungs, all of it came from stars that lived and died along these cosmic threads, scattering their elements into space, which gathered again, collapsed again, formed new stars, new worlds, new life. You are made of stardust, held together by the same forces that wove the cosmic web. You are not separate from the universe. You are a part of it, a thought in its vast neural network, a note in its endless song. Let that sink in. Not as a burden, but as comfort. You belong here. You've always belonged here. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Breathe in, breathe out. Let the rhythm carry you. The filaments of the cosmic web stretch for hundreds of millions of light years. If you could travel along one, moving at the speed of light, it would take you longer than the entire age of Earth just to traverse a single thread. And there are millions of these threads, crisscrossing the universe in every direction, weaving together the largest structure we know. At the intersections where filaments meet, clusters form. Thousands of galaxies bound together in a single gravitational embrace. These clusters are the cities of the universe, brilliant and crowded, blazing with the light of trillions of stars. Our own galaxy belongs to a small cluster, a modest neighborhood by cosmic standards. But even from here, we can sense the larger web around us. We can map it, trace it, follow its threads across billions of light years. And what we found is humbling. The cosmic web isn't unique to our corner of space. It's everywhere. In every direction we look, we see the same pattern. Filaments, nodes, voids, a structure so vast and so consistent that it suggests something fundamental about the nature of reality itself. The universe, it seems, has a memory, a blueprint encoded in the distribution of dark matter, shaped by the quantum fluctuations of the first moments after the Big Bang. Everything we see today, every galaxy, every star, every world, is an echo of that ancient pattern. We are living inside a fossil. The fossilized imprint of the infant universe, preserved in the architecture of dark matter, stretched and grown over billions of years, but still recognizable, still following the same fundamental design. It's beautiful when you think about it. The universe doesn't forget. It carries its past with it, written in the way matter flows and clusters and connects. You don't need to hold on to these thoughts. Just let them drift through your mind like clouds across. The universe is patient. It doesn't ask for your... It simply is, whether you're thinking about it. I float here in my capsule, and the silence is absolute. In space, there's no air to carry sound, no wind, no voices, no distant hum of engines, just silence. The deepest, most complete silence you can imagine. And yet, it doesn't feel empty, because I know what's out there threading through the darkness, the web, the invisible structure holding everything together. I can't see it, but I can feel its presence the way you can feel the weight of the sky, even though you can't touch it. Every galaxy I see is connected to every other. Every star is part of a larger pattern. And that pattern extends beyond what I can observe, beyond the edge of the visible universe into realms I'll never witness. But it's there, all of it, real and vast and interconnected. The cosmic web teaches us something profound, I think. It teaches us that isolation is an illusion. Nothing in the universe exists in true isolation. Everything is part of the web. Everything is connected by gravity, by history, by the invisible threads of dark matter that pulled the universe into being. When you look up at the night sky, you're not looking at separate, disconnected points of light. You're looking at nodes in a network, a family, a community of stars, all related, all bound together by forces older than time, and you're part of it too. Your body is made of atoms that once drifted through space, blown outward by dying stars, drawn together by gravity along the filaments of the web. Those atoms came together to form molecules, which came together to form cells, which came together to form you. You are a pattern of matter, organized by the same forces that organized galaxies. You are a small, beautiful expression of the universe's tendency toward complexity and connection. Rest in that knowledge. Let it hold you like gravity holds the stars. The voids between the filaments are almost unimaginably empty. Imagine a space the size of hundreds of millions of light years containing almost nothing, a few scattered atoms per cubic meter. Darkness so complete that if you were in the center of a void, you might not see a single galaxy in any direction, no matter how powerful your telescope. It's hard to imagine such emptiness. We're used to a world full of things: air, light, sound, texture. Even the spaces between objects are filled with something: air molecules, dust, the hum of electromagnetic radiation. But in the voids, there's almost nothing. Just space itself, expanding, stretching, carrying the distant filaments farther apart with each passing moment. And yet, even the voids are part of the pattern. They're not mistakes or failures. They're necessary. The web couldn't exist without them. Structure requires contrast. Connection requires separation. The voids define the filaments the way silence defines music. In a way, the voids are just as important as the galaxies. They give the universe its shape, its texture, its rhythm. They're the pauses between notes in a cosmic symphony. Let your mind rest in that emptiness, not lonely emptiness, but peaceful emptiness. The kind of emptiness that creates space for new things to grow. The emptiness of a blank page before a story begins. The emptiness of a quiet morning before the world wakes up. There's wisdom in emptiness. Room to breathe, room to be. You're doing beautifully. Your breathing is steady and slow. Your body is heavy and relaxed. You're exactly where you need to be, drifting gently between waking and sleeping, held safely in this moment. The cosmic web has been forming for over 13 billion years, and it will continue forming for billions more. Galaxies will keep moving along their filaments, drawn by gravity's patient hand. Clusters will grow larger, filaments will stretch thinner as the universe expands. Eventually, in the far distant future, the expansion of space will overcome even the strongest gravitational bonds. The filaments will break, the web will dissolve, galaxies will drift apart, carried away by the accelerating expansion of space-time, until each one is alone in an empty universe, unable to see any others. But that's trillions of years from now. For now, the web holds, the connections remain, the universe is still woven together, still humming with the light of 100 billion galaxies, still dancing to the rhythm of gravity and time. And we're here to witness it. Tiny, brief, fragile creatures, perched on a small world orbiting an ordinary star, gazing out at structures that span billions of light. We see the web, we map it, we study it. We try to understand how it formed, why it looks the way it does, what it means. It's extraordinary that the universe can become aware of itself, that matter can organize itself into forms complex enough to look back at the web that created them. I see you. I understand. I'm part of you. You are the universe looking at itself, thinking about itself, resting right now in this quiet moment. There's a kind of meditation in when you study the cosmos, you're forced to let go of the small and the immediate. You can't hold on to daily worries when you're thinking about structures that span hundreds of millions of light years. You can't stay anxious about tomorrow when you're contemplating timescales of billions of years. The universe puts things in perspective. It reminds us how small we are, yes, but also how connected we are, how precious, how unlikely. Against the backdrop of cosmic voids and dark matter halos, your life is impossibly brief, a single heartbeat in the life of the universe. And yet, your life is also impossibly complex. The billions of neurons in your brain firing in patterns more intricate than any galaxy cluster. The trillions of cells in your body, each one a tiny universe unto itself, working together to create the experience of being you. You are vast and small at the same time, connected and unique, part of the web and a world unto yourself. Both things are true, both things are beautiful. The scientists who study the cosmic web use incredible tools. Supercomputers running simulations of the entire universe, calculating the gravitational interactions of billions of dark matter particles over billions of years. Telescopes that can map the positions of millions of galaxies, tracing the filaments and nodes across. And what they've discovered is that the universe is even more organized than we thought. The web isn't random or chaotic. It follows mathematical laws, predictable patterns. If you know the initial conditions, the tiny quantum fluctuations at the beginning of time, you can predict where the filaments will form, where the clusters will grow, how the web will evolve. In other words, the universe is comprehensible. It follows rules. It makes sense. There's comfort in that, I think. In knowing that beneath the apparent chaos, there's order. That the universe isn't arbitrary or capricious. It's lawful, consistent, reliable. The same laws that govern the motion of galaxies also govern the motion of atoms. The same forces that wove the cosmic web also weave the fabric of your DNA. There's a unity to it all, a deep underlying connection between the smallest and largest scales of existence. You can trust that. You can rest in that. The universe knows what it's doing. It's been doing it for 13.8 billion years, and you're part of that ancient, ongoing process. Your existence isn't an accident or a mistake. You're exactly what you're supposed to be, formed by the same forces that formed everything else. Another breath. Let it fill you completely, then release it gently. Feel how your body knows exactly what to do. You don't have to think about breathing. You don't have to try. Your body handles it, following rhythms encoded in your cells, rhythms that go back to the first living things, rhythms that ultimately trace back to the chemical processes in ancient stars. You are breathing stardust. The oxygen in your lungs was created in a star that died before the Earth was born, scattered into space, gathered into new clouds of gas along the filaments of the cosmic web, collapsed into our solar system, formed into planets, released by ancient algae into Earth's atmosphere, and now flowing into your lungs. Every breath connects you to the web. Every breath is a thread linking you to the cosmos. If you mapped all the dark matter in the universe, tracing every filament and every halo, you'd create an image that looks remarkably like a brain scan, the same branching patterns, the same clusters and connections, the same organization of nodes and pathways. Some scientists have wondered if this is coincidence, something deeper. Why should the universe at its largest scale resemble the brain at its smallest? Is there some fundamental principle that creates these patterns, some law of organization that applies to all complex systems? We don't know yet, but the resemblance is striking, and it invites a poetic thought. Perhaps the universe is, in some sense, thinking. Not thinking in the way we think, with intentions and conscience, but thinking in the sense of processing information, creating patterns, organizing itself in ever more complex ways. And if the universe is a mind, then we are thoughts within it. Fleeting, beautiful thoughts, arising briefly before dissolving back into the whole. You don't need to understand it all. You don't need to hold on to these ideas. Just let them wash over you like waves on a shore, gentle and rhythmic, carrying away tension, leaving only calm. Out here in space, time feels different. Without the sun rising and setting, without clocks and schedules, time becomes fluid. Moments stretch and compress. Hours feel like minutes. Minutes feel like hours. I could float here forever, I think, suspended between stars, watching the universe slowly turn. There's no urgency here, no deadlines, no rush, just existence. Pure. The cosmic web reminds me that the universe operates on timescales that dwarf human comprehension. A galaxy takes 200 million years to complete a single rotation. The light from distant filaments has been traveling toward us for billions of years, showing us not what the universe looks like now, but what it looked like when it was young. We see the past everywhere we look. The farther we gaze, the deeper into history we peer. The cosmic web we observe isn't the web as it exists today. It's the web as it existed millions and billions of years ago, frozen in the light that's only just reaching us. In a way, the universe is a time machine. Every photon carries a message from the past. Every ray of starlight is a memory, and those memories show us that the web has been there all along, growing, evolving, but always present. An eternal structure woven from invisible threads, holding everything together across the vast abyss of space. You are held by this web, even now. Gravity connects you to the earth beneath you. The earth is connected to the sun. The sun is connected to the Milky Way. The Milky Way is connected to the local group. The local group is connected to the Virgo supercluster. The Virgo supercluster is connected to the Laniakea supercluster. And Laniakea is just one node in the cosmic web, connected to countless others across the observable universe. You are part of the largest structure in existence. You always have been. You always will. Let that thought settle over you like a blanket, not heavy, but comforting, warm, safe. The filaments of dark matter that form the cosmic web are called cosmic strings by some scientists, though they're not strings in the conventional sense. They're more like rivers of gravity flowing through the void, carrying galaxies along their currents. If you could somehow make dark matter visible, the night sky would look completely different. Instead of isolated stars and galaxies, you'd see a vast network of glowing threads stretching across the heavens, connecting everything in sight. The universe would look like a city seen from space at night, with highways of light crisscrossing in every direction. But we can't see dark matter. We can only infer its presence from its effects. The way galaxies move, the way light bends around massive objects, the way the cosmic web shapes the distribution of everything. It's humbling, really, to know that most of the universe is invisible to us, that we're surrounded by something we can't detect directly, something that outweighs all the stars and planets and gas clouds by a factor of 6 to 1. We are a minority in our own universe. The visible matter, the atoms that make up everything we know, accounts for less than 5% of everything that exists. The rest is dark, hidden, mysterious, and yet we're learning. Slowly, patiently, we're mapping the invisible. We're tracing the web. We're beginning to understand the architecture of reality itself. There's hope in that. No matter how mysterious the universe seems, no matter how much we don't know, we keep learning. We keep discovering. We keep reaching into the darkness and bringing back understanding. The human mind is capable of extraordinary things. We can conceive of structures larger than galaxies. We can calculate the mass of invisible halos. We can simulate the evolution of the entire universe from the first moments after the Big Bang to the present day. We are small, yes, but we are also mighty. We are the universe's way of knowing itself. Your thoughts are slowing now, drifting, like leaves on a gentle stream, carried along by a current you don't have. That's good. That's exactly right. There's nothing you need to figure out tonight. No problems to solve, no questions to answer. The cosmic web has been weaving itself for 13 billion years without your help. It will continue long after you're gone. You don't have to do anything but rest. The galaxies will keep moving along their filaments. The dark matter halos will keep pulling matter into place. The universe will keep expanding, stretching the web a little wider with each passing moment. And you can simply be here, now, safe and quiet and perfectly still. If I could give you one gift from this journey through the cosmos, it would be this: the knowledge that you're never truly alone. You might feel isolated sometimes, disconnected, like you're drifting through life without anchor or purpose. But the cosmic web says otherwise. You are connected to the earth beneath you, to the stars above you, to the vast structure of the universe itself. You are woven into the fabric of existence, a thread in the grandest tapestry ever created. Every person you've ever met, every place you've ever been, every moment you've ever experienced, all of it is connected through the web. Separated by space and time, yes, but ultimately part of the same pattern, the same structure, the same cosmic story. You belong here, in this universe, on this planet, in this moment. You've always belonged. The dark matter that shapes the cosmic web is one of the greatest mysteries in science. We know it's there. We know it makes up most of the mass in the universe. We know it doesn't interact with light or ordinary matter except through gravity. But we don't know what it's made of. We don't know if it's particles or fields or something else entirely. Despite decades of searching, we haven't detected a single dark matter particle directly. It's out there, all around us, passing through our bodies every second, and yet we can't see it, can't touch it, can't capture it. Some might find that frustrating, but I find it beautiful. There's still mystery in the universe, still wonder, still things we don't understand. And maybe that's how it should be. Maybe the universe is meant to remain partly unknown, partly mysterious, partly beyond our grasp. Maybe the cosmic web will always be just a little bit out of reach, glimpsed only indirectly, understood only through inference and imagination. There's poetry in believing without proof, in trusting that the invisible threads are there, holding everything together, even when we can't perceive them directly. Faith, in a way. Not religious faith, but scientific faith. The faith that the universe makes sense, that it follows laws, that it can be understood even if we haven't understood it yet. Your eyelids are heavy now, so heavy. It takes effort to keep them open. And why bother? There's nothing you need to see right now. Nothing you need to watch or monitor or attend to. You can let your eyes close. Let the darkness behind your eyelids become the darkness of space. Infinite and peace. A darkness full of invisible light, invisible structure, invisible beauty. The cosmic web is still there, even in the dark, especially in the dark. That's when it's most real, most present. Scientists estimate that there are 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. 2 trillion nodes in the cosmic web, each one containing billions or trillions of stars. Each star potentially hosting planets, each planet potentially hosting life. 2 trillion galaxies, all connected by filaments of dark matter, all part of the same vast structure. It's too much to really comprehend. The numbers are too large, the distances too vast. Our brains aren't built to understand scales like that. But you can feel it, I think. Even if you can't comprehend it logically, you can sense the magnitude of it, the weight of it, the grandeur of it. You are part of something larger than yourself, larger than your family, your city, your country, your world, larger than the solar system, the galaxy, the local group. You are part of the cosmic web, and the cosmic web is part of you. The atoms in your body will one day return to space. When you die, your body will decay, breaking down into simpler molecules. Those molecules will eventually be recycled by nature, absorbed by plants, eaten by animals, washed into oceans, evaporated into clouds. And over millions and billions of years, some of those atoms will escape Earth's gravity, blown off by solar wind or carried away by collisions or launched into space by volcanic eruptions or asteroid impacts. They'll drift through the solar system, through the galaxy, along the filaments of the cosmic web. And perhaps someday they'll collapse into a new star, or a new planet, or a new form of life we can't even imagine. You are temporary, but the atoms that make you are eternal. They've existed since the Big Bang, and they'll exist until the end of time, cycling endlessly through the web, forming stars and planets and living things, dissolving and reforming in an eternal cosmic dance. You are a moment in that dance, a beautiful, fleeting moment. And when your moment ends, the dance continues. Your atoms rejoin the web, ready to become something new. There's comfort in that continuity, in knowing that nothing is ever truly lost. Everything changes form, but nothing disappears. Energy is conserved. Matter is conserved. The web endures. I can feel myself drifting now, not through space, though that too, but through consciousness. The boundary between waking and sleeping is blurring. Thoughts become dreamlike. Reality becomes fluid. I'll sleep soon. Or maybe I'll just float here, suspended between states, neither fully awake nor fully asleep, just existing, present, aware of the stars outside and the darkness inside and the subtle rhythm of my own breathing. There's no difference, really, between being awake and being asleep in space. Both are quiet. Both are dark. Both are filled with the same infinite presence. The cosmic web doesn't care if I'm conscious or not. It continues either way, threading through the universe, connecting galaxies, shaping the architecture of reality. I am not needed for the web to exist. None of us are. We're witnesses, not participants, observers of a process that began long before we arrived and will continue long after and yet there's something profound about being here to witness it, to look out at the stars and see not just light, but structure, not just galaxies, connections, not just matter, meaning. We are the universe's way of admiring itself, and maybe that's enough. Maybe that's all we were ever meant to be. Your breathing is so slow now, so deep and steady. Each breath takes longer than the last. Each exhale releases more tension, more thought, more awareness of anything except the gentle rhythm of air moving in and out of your lungs. You're safe. Completely safe, held by gravity, held by the earth, held by the web. Nothing can harm you here. Nothing is required of you. You can let go completely, knowing that you'll still be here when you wake. The world will still be here. The stars will still be here. The cosmic web will still be here, quietly holding everything together. In the deepest voids between the filaments, where almost nothing exists, there's still dark matter. It's thinner there, more diffuse, but it's present. The web extends even into the emptiest places. There are no true gaps in the structure. It's all connected, all part of the same continuous fabric. Even in emptiness, there's presence. Even in silence, there's sound, if you listen carefully enough. The universe is never truly empty, never truly silent. There's always something happening, even if it's invisible, even if it's too slow or too subtle to perceive. Right now, as you drift toward sleep, galaxies are forming, stars are being born, planets are coalescing from clouds of dust. Light is traveling across billions of light years, carrying messages from the distant past. And dark matter is flowing, always flowing, along the filaments, through the halos, weaving the web tighter, pulling matter into ever more complex structures. The universe is alive, in its own way, not conscious, but dynamic, not thinking, but creating, not watching, but becoming. And you're part of that becoming. A small part, yes, but essential nonetheless. Without you, the universe would be different. Slightly, imperceptibly different, but different all the same. Your existence matters. Your presence makes a difference. You are not insignificant, no matter how small you feel when you contemplate the cosmic web. You are a thread in the tapestry, and the tapestry would be incomplete with. Let that truth settle into your bones, into your heart. You matter. You belong. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. The journey tonight has taken us far from Earth, across light years and eons, through galaxies and voids, along invisible filaments that stretch across the universe. We've seen the largest structure in existence, the hidden skeleton that holds everything together. And now, as our journey comes to its gentle close, I want you to carry something with you, a small gift from. Remember that you are connected to everything, to everyone, to the stars above and the earth below, to the past that shaped you and the future you're moving toward, to the visible world of light and the invisible world of dark matter and gravity. You are a node a point of light in the vast network, and from your node, threads extend in every direction, connecting you to people you've met and to places you've been and places you'll never visit, to moments that have passed and moments yet to come. These connections are real even when you can't see them, even when you feel alone, isolated, adrift in the void of daily life. The threads are there, holding you, supporting you, reminding you that you're part of something infinitely larger and infinitely. The cosmic web doesn't judge, it doesn't demand. It simply exists, patient and eternal, weaving all of us together into a single, magnificent whole. And when life feels chaotic, when the world seems random and meaningless, remember the web. Remember that beneath the surface chaos, there's structure, order, connection. The same pattern that organized galaxies into filaments is working in your life too, pulling things together in ways you might not understand, but will recognize someday when you look back. Trust the process, trust the web. Trust that you're exactly where you need to be, even if you can't see the full. Your body is so relaxed now, so heavy and still, like a planet in orbit, held perfectly in place by invisible forces, moving along your appointed path through space and time. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, just this moment, this breath, this peaceful surrender to rest. I'm still floating here in my capsule, but I'm fading now too. The stars outside are blurring. My thoughts are dissolving like morning mist. The boundary between me and the universe is thinning, becoming permeable, until I'm not sure where I end and the cosmos begins. Maybe there is no boundary. Maybe we're all just temporary patterns in the cosmic web, waves rising briefly from the ocean before settling back into the whole. That's a comforting thought, I think, that we're never really separate, never really alone, always part of the web, always connected, always home. The filaments stretch on forever, beyond my ability to see or comprehend. They extend past the edge of the observable universe into regions of space and time I'll never know. The web is larger than anything I can imagine, older than I can calculate, more beautiful than I can describe. And yet I'm part of it. You're part of it. We all are. Every atom in your body is a node in the web. Every thought in your mind is a signal traveling along cosmos. Every breath you take is the universe experiencing itself, knowing itself, loving itself through you. You are not separate from the web. You are the web, a living, breathing expression of its infinite creativity and connection. Rest in that knowledge now. Let it hold you like gravity holds the stars. Let it comfort you like darkness comforts tired eyes. Let it carry you gently into sleep, into dreams, into the quiet spaces where consciousness dissolves and only peace remains. The cosmic web will be here when you wake. The stars will still be shining. The filaments will still be weaving galaxies together across the void. Dark matter will still be flowing through invisible channels, shaping the architecture of reality. And you'll still be part of it all, still connected, still belonging, still home. For now, though, let your thoughts drift like stars across a quiet sky. Let your awareness fade like light from a distant galaxy. Let your body sink deeper into rest, supported by forces you don't need to understand, held by a web you don't need to see. You are safe here. You have always been safe. The universe has been holding you since before you were born, and it will continue holding you long after you're gone. You are a cherished thread in the cosmic tapestry, and nothing can ever change that. The darkness behind your eyelids is the same darkness that fills the voids between galaxies, peaceful, ancient, infinite. There's no difference between inner space and outer space. It's all one continuous fabric, one unbroken web, one eternal home. And you're exactly where you belong. I'll stay here a while longer, floating in the silence, watching the stars slowly turn. But you don't need to stay with me. You can go now, drift away. Release your hold on waking thoughts and conscious awareness. Let sleep come. Let it come like starlight, falling across empty space. Gentle, inevitable, beautiful. The web will hold you. It always has. It always will. Thank you for journeying with me tonight through the hidden skeleton of the universe along invisible threads that connect everything that ever was and ever will be. Thank you for listening, for imagining, for letting yourself see the beauty in the darkness. I hope you carry a piece of the cosmic web with you into your dreams. I hope you remember in some quiet corner of your sleeping mind that you are connected, that you belong, that you are held by forces larger and older and more loving than you can imagine. Rest now, dear friend. Rest deeply and peacefully. Let the universe cradle you in its infinite arms. Let the web hold you suspended between stars, safe and warm and perfectly still. The cosmos is vast, but you are not lost in it. You are part of it, woven into its very fabric, a thread of light in the darkness, a thought in the mind of infinity. Sleep well, dream gently, and when you wake, know that the web is still there, still connecting you to everything, still reminding you that you are never, ever alone. For now, let your eyes stay closed. Let your breathing slow to nothing. Let yourself dissolve into the quiet, into the darkness, into the endless, peaceful embrace of good night, traveler. Good night, dreamer. Good night, beautiful node in the infinite network of existence. The universe loves you. The web holds you. And all is well.